Hello, and it's glad to have you join me on another amazing edition of Visual Impressions on NTA. My name is Umar Mohammed. Now, it was a remarkable day on Visual Impressions where we had to attend an exhibition organized by the National Gallery of Arts in collaboration with the School of Creativity, where they both hosted the World Creativity and Innovation Day here in Abuja, celebrating artistic excellence and innovation beyond the human imagination. Let's take a look.
As creativity took center at the Arts Pavilion, it was more than just a gathering of artists and art lovers. It was a moment that brought together culture, expression, and innovation in one shared space. What stands out the most is the diversity of expression, from traditional African artistry, rich in heritage and symbolism, to bold contemporary works that challenge perception and push creative boundaries.
The theme for World Creativity and Innovation Day 2026 is harnessing creativity for global progress. And this reminds us that creativity is not just about ideas, it is about turning those ideas into solutions that drive sustainable development and inclusive growth. In today's world, creativity is no longer an option for us, it is essential. It is how we respond to challenges, we build communities, and create opportunities where none existed. In my work at IYA Foundation, I have seen how simple creative ideas transform lives. I have seen young girls gain confidence through STEAM and digital innovation. I have seen women build sustainable livelihoods through climate-smart agriculture. I have also seen young youths and persons with disability become active contributors to peace and economic development. These are not just stories, they are proof that creativity works. But creativity must be inclusive. It must reach those in rural communities, those affected by conflict, and those too often left out of opportunity. Because true innovation is measured not by ideas alone, but by the lives we impact.
My son was out shouting, Daddy, I'm creative. 5 years old, what's creativity now? So he came along and I said, so what's the problem? He now showed me the apple drink I gave him. But when he went to the kitchen, he went there and he took cucumbers and sliced it into the apple drink. Then one question that came to my mind was that, who told him that that was creativity? And that means that creativity can be in 4 parts. Creativity is an ability. You should have that ability by birth. 2, creativity is a process. And we must also go through that process. 3, creativity is a skill. According to the World Economic Forum, creativity is supposed to be one of the first 2 skills, most relevant skill in 2027. It means if you don't engage the skill of creativity by 2027, you will not be among the relevant people at that age, according to the World Economic Forum. And the last stage, or the last part of creativity, is that creativity is a mindset. And the good news is that everyone here is creative. I always say jokingly that you don't pray to be creative. It's not a prayer point. You are born creative. So what I'm just saying is that you have the duty and the sole responsibility of bringing out your creativity to your advantage.
As the exhibition gradually comes to a close, one thing remains certain: art continues to thrive. It continues to speak in ways that words sometimes cannot. And most importantly, it continues to bring people together.
The theme of this year is the World Creative and Innovation Day. When I'm talking about creativity and innovation, there are 2 different things, but 2 goes together. Creativity is a thing of mind. What will drive it is innovation. You know, when talking about innovation, they develop is day-to-day activities, and what innovation means is doing things in a different way for sustainability, for uniqueness, and for relevancy. When you are bringing a new innovation, at least what you do today, by the time you are going to repeat the same thing tomorrow, you know, it's going to be in a different form. So it brings about sustainability. It will be doing something for long, but in a different form and manners.
The artworks on display are drawn from Nigerian Treasure National Gallery of National Collection and have been produced by seasoned creative minds from across Nigeria. Every masterpiece here began as a thought and came to be a result of several sketches and ideas colliding with one another, ultimately resulting in the prime pieces before us today.
This creativity and innovation and tourism, you know, they go pari passu. So with that tourism aspect of it, you know, tourism is about going around, know what is going outside Nigeria and everywhere. The most important thing they need government support, because everything now needs empowerment. Most of thank God now we are in digital age, where you don't think of an eye at your bedroom, you can see what is going on throughout the world. So, you know, innovation and creativity goes beyond sitting down at home and do what is happening in your own country, your domain. You have to imbibe what is happening in the world class. And doing that, our younger ones need to be empowered. They need to be determined and self-reliance. So I'm very sure the government today will give them all the necessary support to sustain that.
The only thing I have to say to all the creative minds out there, especially my own field, or short in general, as an artist, you don't just have to restrict yourself. You keep working. There's this thing, Dr. Pupo Ola, one of my mentor, like I tap inspiration from his work. There's this thing he said he's just an ordinary sculptor, metal sculptor, who has been working every day. He never knew that one day that one international gallery would just call him and say, hey, we want you to come and exhibit in one of our exhibitions. So as an artist, you keep working. Just don't relent. Keep that fighting spirit going. One day, your voices will be heard.
I think one major field is digital art, because we are in a technological era and it's rapidly growing. The fact that art is being included in that and still carries the essence of creativity, for me, this is something I'll always push to, because as a textile artist, as a painter, sculptor, you still need a little bit of that technology in order to push your work out. Strategy is planning, and you can't plan if you don't know. So the fact that they were intentional about, trying to even tell us about culture, or at least, speaking to people to know about their culture. If you know more, you can plan better. So like for the game that was shown, the national cake, that was strictly about history of Nigeria. If every Nigerian should know that history, they will know how to plan for the next coming. Okay, like the election is next year now. If you know what had happened years back, you will know the kind of decision you want to take for the coming. So I feel this exhibition captured that.
This exhibition reminds us that art is constantly evolving, yet firmly rooted in identity. For many who attended, this was not just about observing art, it was about experiencing it, taking a moment to pause from the fast pace of everyday life to truly engage with something meaningful and to appreciate the depth of human creativity.
Pattern Pulse exhibition, a collection of Mrs. Akonde that reimagines discarded fabrics as vessels of culture, community, and recycled arts, were panoramically displayed at the residence of the United Kingdom's envoy to Nigeria. Through recycled textile remnants, the The works explore memory, inviting viewers to the value where art meets remnants. Let's take a look.
Some stories are written in words, others are stitched in clothes, painted in colors, and carried quietly through time. For artist Ngozi Akonde, life itself has become a canvas woven with memories, duty, motherhood, and art. Her first solo survey, Live in Colors, reviewed a studio practice shaped across decades.
I think one of the things that the people don't know is the whole thing. It's a lot of build-up. It must be very, 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 have very beautiful things in your mind before you can even display. So whatever you see her work is just how her heart, what the good things about her that you see out there. And I keep saying it, I said, from their works we know them. So she's a you can see the beautiful work and know how much time she has spent putting everything together. That's how creative she is. And it reflects in everything around her. Even the way you are seeing me as well. If it doesn't match, you say, no, daddy, no. If I go to the studio to stay sometime, if I take my own small walk to the studio to stay with her sometime, then there are things that I will also point to say, won't this thing look like this? I became corrective as well. All right. So some of these pictures we are seeing, I think I'm the first person who will criticize. I'm the first person who will see. I'm the first person who will say, oh, daddy, look at this, daddy, look at that. And I feel great with that.
It just tells me how the intellect, how determination and zeal can be critical in the production of human essences. How it can be critical in the production of human essences, but it also depends on the imaginative power of the artist and the curator. And we have seen all of them, assembling in the ability of Dr. Akonde, which makes her distinctive. So her courage, her zeal, her productivity and efficiency are quite commendable. She has been consistent at it over the years. She has matured in it, and the fact that she's consolidating makes her a beacon, an icon of a sort, not just for peers to learn one or two things from, but also for younger ones to learn a lot from.
The reasons why I love it so much. I mean, first of all, the deep cultural meaning that you find in African art. It's rarely just decorative. It's rooted in tradition, in stories, and in identity. So there's a lot going on. And obviously, a celebration often of cultural creativity. So there's a lot of profound meaning in African art, bold colours and abstract forms, and real freedom and confidence in the sort of visual language of African art. And often you see African art as well, it blends the visual, it blends the spiritual with the everyday as well. So you can see the connection through masks and sculptures and textiles with how art and life are intertwined in Africa. And then you get this dynamic energy and movement in African art as well. You see rhythm, you see emotion, it really draws you in. And then a connection as well between past and present. Often African art will draw from the past motives and themes and then look at kind of how the world exists now and looking at social change, looking at evolution. And those past and present can be there together in one artwork. And then finally there's this thing about emotional connection in African art. It reminds you people that you've met, places that you've been, or stories that you've heard. So really powerful connection with African art when you look and get drawn in by the
For visitors, Pattern Pulse is more than an exhibition. It is an encounter with memory, with heritage, with the everyday objects that quietly shape identity.
Fantastic. This is huge. It's incredible, and for every artist is distinct in his or her own ways. But for me, Ngozi Akonde's work resonates more with me because you see advocacy runs the entire gamut. What she believes in. Women's rights, children's rights, mentorship, coaching, developing people, coaching. All those, you find those themes recurring in her.
Me the most is the color and the textures, and a lot of it of course is really strong and assaulting, but taken each one there's so much strength, and it's really quite artistic because I don't work in this medium of course, but I think it's beautiful, I think it's attractive, it's very African. So much color, so much strength, so much noise. Shout outs, that's what it says. Missing a lot, particularly if they like color. They're missing a lot. I'd like to have some of them. So I've got her card now. So I can call her and, we can talk.
We're here with the works of Dr. Ngozi. So this is my first exposure to her art. One of the things that I've really noticed is the fact that she uses mixed media, which is something that really appeals to me. I absolutely love the oils that she uses in the background and also the vibrancy of the colours that reflect her subject matter. So I really enjoy that. But I think what I really like is her depiction of people. I really enjoy people. So there's the people side and the cultural side that she shows, but also I love some of her abstract stuff as well. So with the abstract, I kind of get the feel of the atmosphere around us. So particularly now with Harmattan, when you look outside and you look at the Harmattan haze, I feel like, I don't know if this is intended by her, but I feel like I get that kind of atmosphere that you have in Nigeria sometimes.
In every color, there is memory. In
My name is Jill Lever, the British Deputy High Commissioner in Abuja. Keep watching Visual Impressions on NTA.
Okay, as we saw earlier on in the beginning of the program, we saw how we could turn innovations into ingenuity that blows the human mind. And also we saw how we could actually use our remaining fabrics to create amazing artworks that could be sold for thousands of naira. Well, I'm happy you had an amazing time here with me on Visual Impressions. I hope to see you again next week. My name is Umar Mohammed. Do have a lovely week ahead. Okay, as we saw earlier on in the beginning of the program.